Rule number 1, don't talk about Fight Club. Rule number 2, don't trust your own mind.
Tyler Durden is just the narrator's split personality, and he shoots himself to get rid of them.
My eyes are open.
Fight Club.
The narrator Edward Norton is an insomniac working a mundane corporate job for a major car company. Trapped in a meaningless cycle of consumerism, he fills his apartment with IKEA furniture, believing that material possessions define his identity. His chronic lack of sleep leaves him emotionally numb, and his doctor dismisses his condition, telling him to visit a testicular cancer support group to see real suffering. Surprisingly, attending these support groups provides him with an emotional release. By crying among terminally ill people, he finally finds peace and, for the first time in years, is able to sleep. However, this newfound comfort is shattered when he meets Marla singer Helena Bonham Carter, another fraud who attends the groups despite not being sick. Her presence reminds him of his own deceit, making it impossible for him to find relief anymore.
Meeting Tyler Durden and the birth of Fight Club.
On a business trip, the narrator meets Tyler Durden Brad Pitt, a confident and charismatic soap salesman with an anarchist philosophy. Tyler openly mocks consumer culture, arguing that people are enslaved by their possessions and societal expectations. Upon returning home, the narrator finds his apartment completely destroyed by an explosion. With nowhere else to go, he calls Tyler, who invites him for a drink. After a few beers, Tyler makes an unusual request: "I want you to hit me as hard as you can." Hesitant at first, the narrator punches Tyler, and they engage in a street fight. The fight gives the narrator an inexplicable sense of freedom and release. They continue to fight regularly, and soon, other men start joining them, leading to the creation of Fight Club, an underground fight club where men can vent their frustrations. The club operates under strict rules, the most important being: 1. You do not talk about Fight Club. 2. You do not talk about Fight Club. As more men join, Fight Club spreads across the country. It becomes a secret society for disillusioned men seeking escape from the constraints of modern life. The narrator feels liberated, but at the same time, Tyler starts spending more time with Marla, leaving the narrator feeling increasingly isolated.
Fight Club evolves, the rise of Project Mayhem.
As Fight Club gains momentum, Tyler takes things further by forming Project Mayhem, an underground anarchist movement dedicated to chaos and destruction. Unlike Fight Club, which is about personal release, Project Mayhem is about dismantling society itself. Members engage in acts of vandalism, sabotage, and terrorism with the ultimate goal of erasing debt records by destroying major financial institutions. The narrator begins to feel uneasy as Project Mayhem spirals out of control. The men who once fought to feel alive are now blindly following Tyler's orders without question. Things escalate when a member, Bob Meatloaf, is killed during a sabotage mission. The narrator, horrified, tries to shut it down only to realize that Project Mayhem has grown far beyond his control.
The shocking truth.
In an attempt to stop Tyler, the narrator travels across the country, following the trail of Fight Club chapters. Everywhere he goes, people recognize him and address him as Mr. Durden. Then comes the devastating revelation: Tyler Durden is not real. The narrator has been suffering from dissociative identity disorder. Due to his chronic insomnia, suppressed anger, and disillusionment with society, his subconscious created Tyler Durden as an alter ego, a fearless, charismatic version of himself who could do everything he couldn't. Every action Tyler took was actually the narrator acting out his subconscious desires. As the truth sinks in, Tyler appears and taunts him, revealing that Project Mayhem's final plan destroying major financial buildings to reset the global economy is already in motion. The explosives are set, and there is no way to stop them.
The climactic ending. Chaos wins.
Desperate, the narrator tries to regain control. He finds himself in a high-rise building, held hostage by Tyler. Realizing that he is fighting against his own mind, he makes a drastic decision. He puts a gun in his mouth and pulls the trigger. The bullet miraculously doesn't kill him, but it destroys the part of his mind that manifested Tyler. Tyler collapses and vanishes, defeated. Moments later, Marla enters the room, confused and frightened. The narrator, now fully in control of himself, takes her hand. As they stand together, they watch the city skyline through a window. One by one, the surrounding skyscrapers explode and collapse, marking the beginning of the end of modern financial capitalism. As Where's My Mind by Pixies plays, the film fades to black, leaving the audience with a powerful question. Is destruction the only path to true freedom?